Okay, trying a new camera angle. We'll see if this works. But right. In the last video, well, actually no, in the video before the last video, I said I was going to talk about anger, and then in the last video, I didn't do that, but promised I would talk about anger in the next one. So here it is, finally making good on that. Um, I just like to talk about, like with a lot of other emotions, anger looks a little different for me than it seems to for a lot of people. I'm gonna reference Inside Out here for a minute, but you know how, like, in the dad's brain, anger kind of rules? Like, anger's obviously the lead emotion, even though dad's, I mean, obviously he's not blowing up at everyone all the time. It's just anger sort of runs the show. So that's kind of how I would explain my brain too, as far as anger kind of when I'm when I'm not in emotional neutral, the easiest emotion for me to get to, I guess, is anger. And I do have a tendency to blow up, but a lot of the time it's even just like a vague sense of annoyance that I mean turns into anger. It's but um a lot of other emotions also will become anger. So it's any emotion where I feel out of control morphs into anger, and that's something I've realized after a lot of introspection and incidents. But it's like if I am afraid of something or feeling anxious, then that, like, if that doesn't resolve itself, I get mad. I'm like, why am I anxious? Why am I scared of something? I feel weak. Yeah, I feel weak. I feel out of control. Like there's nothing I can do to fix this, and it feels like I should be able to fix this, but I can't, so then I get mad. And if I'm feeling sad about something, um, well, that depends on the level of sadness, actually. There's levels of sadness. It depends. Average sadness probably turns into mad as well, because again, it's like it's something that's out of my control. It's something that usually, if I'm sad about something, it's something that I feel shouldn't have happened, like someone died, or just I got disappointed by something and I got sad, and then that can very quickly turn into anger. And I've started to realize with that, like, I kind of have to just let myself feel my feelings. Um, Obviously, finding healthy ways to express them, which I'll probably talk about more in the next video. Um, but that's one thing I've realized is that, like, if I know it's going to become anger, I also know if I try to like, I've learned, like, if I try to suppress that, it's gonna get even worse further down the line, and I'm gonna blow up at something that really didn't warrant it, and then I'm the problem. So I have to let myself feel my feelings, even if I'm getting angry about something that feels like, even if the anger doesn't always feel like an appropriate response. I have to just let myself feel that because I can't control it necessarily. Even confusion. Confusion turns into anger because, again, I feel out of control. I feel like, well, I should know this. I should know this. So why don't I understand what's going on? And that I'm in those situations a lot more than I'd like to be. It's just that's one thing that's actually been great about my diagnosis, is like I'm gonna feel confused by a lot of things, and that doesn't mean I'm dumb. It doesn't mean it's normal because my brain's wired a little differently. So anytime I'm talking with a bunch of people I don't know, I'll be very confused. If I say something and someone gets mad and I don't know why, and it's something that it seems like I'm expected to know why they'd be angry about it, I'll get confused, and then it doesn't get resolved, and then I get mad, not even necessarily at the person who got angry with me. It's more just I'm angry at the situation. Why can't I understand? So that's one thing that's been helpful even with my diagnosis, is going a little easier on myself, and it's dealing at least with the confusion side of that and not getting as angry is easier when I know, like, okay, hang on. It's not my fault that I'm confused. It's nobody's fault that I'm confused. It's just what it is. And then I can try to take a step back, take some quiet time, and I'll try to seek clarification later if I can. Because if I try to do it in that moment, I'm going to react out of anger even if I know I shouldn't be. So, as with sadness, I just have to like let myself go to usually my room and just feel my feelings. And then I can constructively deal with it later. It's funny too, because like anger is a reaction to feeling out of control, but I also feel more out of control when I'm angry. It's a hard balance, because I think anger is an emotion that like my brain and body know more what to do with it than the ones that become anger. Because I mean, it's like, well, we're sad about this and we don't know why, but if we get mad about this, then we know why we're mad, because we're mad because something's making us like, we're mad because something's not right, something's making us sad. So then that's, I keep referring to myself in the plural. It's a reaction because like I'm talking about inside out, and the inside out emotions are all like, what are we doing? We're going to do this. So that's me anthropomorphizing my emotions maybe more than I should be doing, but whatever. No, I know anger is like it's easier to pinpoint what's making me upset when I'm angry about it. That being said, there's still times I'm like, I am angry and there's no apparent cause. But that's just the time I have to remember, like, okay, I don't know what's going on, so I have to be patient with everyone around me, because I'm angry for no apparent reason, and it's not fair to anyone if I'm reacting out of that right now. But I know, like, fear, I feel a little more in control of the situation if I'm mad about it than if I'm feeling sad or afraid or confused. And it's maybe not healthy, but I've been working on some coping mechanisms that I'm gonna share with you guys next time. I don't want to make this video too long, but so in a nutshell, anger is a reaction to feeling out of control. And there's 3 distinct emotions that make me feel more out of control than any others, and that's fear, sadness, and confusion. Because all of those are a situation where, like, something happened or is happening that I don't understand, I think isn't fair, I think is scary, and I want to have something that I feel like I can control. So I get angry because I can't control the situation. I've also noticed that how I react to anger, I think, is a little bit different, because I tend to just react, if that makes any sense. It's taken a lot of practice and trial, error, blood, sweat, tears, whatever, to get to a point where I feel like I can at least get a handle on it. It's like, I'm not actually in more control of the situation when I'm angry. I think it's just but I know why I'm angry. It's because I'm sad. I don't know why I'm sad, ignore that. But I know why I'm angry. So, whatever. And like, I have a much more physical response to anger than I think to any other emotion except maybe disgust. Like, I don't always cry when I'm feeling sad. Most of the time, if I cry, it's because I'm angry. It's a much more extreme physical reaction than I have to joy or any other emotion, which I think is why it's kind of easy to tell when I'm angry, but it also looks like it looks like I could be sad. So that's a tough call to make. But yeah, anger's an interesting one for me. It's the easiest to default to. It kind of takes the lead in other emotional situations, and I have I'm the most reactionary to anger. I cry most in response to anger. I have a tendency to lash out in ways I don't want to when I'm angry. But in the moment, I feel more in control. And that's kind of it's sometimes, excuse me, kind of scary. Not that I'm never dangerous or anything like that. I just, it's a situation where I feel more in control and I'm actually less in control. And that can be a scary thing. And that can be the reason I'm crying. Because I don't know what to do with being angry. And it's a tough balance. It's a tough thing to deal with, but I'm learning to. And I mean, this video went a little longer than I meant it to, but in the next video, I might even talk about meltdowns and what that looks like, and then go into coping mechanisms. So that's it for now. Yeah, I hope this is explanatory and not too rambly.